last episode, our group of Cyberpunks had their showdown with the Elvises that kidnapped Adriana Young, the woman they are escorting to Night City. After setting up a devious plan to sneak into Graceland to steal Elvis's guitar, they successfully traded the guitar for Adriana. After this, they learned that Adriana is not who she says she is. She is actually a clone of her dead sister. The Elvises gave a photo proving this. There's another complication. Though they stole Adriana from a medical company by the name of Norcross, it has actually turned out to be a front company for Biotechnica. Also, we found out Axel is actually a cop. Who knew?
Who knew?
With all that, the party was contacted by Michael Hart, the fixer who is going to be taking up the job of escorting, helping them get to Night City. Elliot, previous fixer, was killed. They have secured a boat to New Orleans, and they're going to set off along the Mississippi River. The owner of the boat that they're riding on is Clearly, who is accompanied by his daughter, Grace. So that was everything that happened last time. It was a lot, I feel. So it's nighttime along the Mississippi River. Clearly is gathering up all the ropes and whatnot to disembark. They paid him what was left on their debit card that they received. So now they are on the ship. You guys are on the ship. You can hear Clearly yell out to Grace, who's on the ship. Grace, help them with finding their cabins. That's my voice. Thank you.
I love him.
Not what I was expecting.
The sea is a cruel mistress, Bones. It does things to people.
Certainly.
Okay, so Grace will lead you forward down the stairs to the bottom of the ship. There you find the galley, which has a small worn table, some chairs, and a kitchen. Towards the bow of the ship are two small cabins. That's the front, in case any of you don't know your nautical directions. So towards the bow of the ship is two small cabins, each with the bunk beds and a small writing desk. There's only just enough room to hold yourselves and your gear.
I think Mimi would just find a spot to hold up, and she's got that laptop, so she's gonna kind of chill for a second while they're getting ready to take off. Her legs kicked up, and she's tippy tapping away on internet chat forums.
I feel like Sig would be taking her pistol and probably clearing the boat, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah, looking for anything suspicious.
All right, so you head to you walk around the bottom of the boat, towards the back, where the hold is. You see large crates, wooden crates, just sort of neatly stacked and strapped down.
Is there any kind of markings on the crates?
What markings there are have been destroyed.
Am I able to open the crate and look inside of it? Is there anyone around?
No one is around at the moment.
I would love to look inside of that crate.
Okay, so you so let's say you untie like one of the top crates and you open it up and you find what looks to be explosives.
Are they packaged individually?
Yes, they're packaged individually. They look to be like C6, which is like C4 essentially.
Are they like bricks?
Yeah, they're bricks.
I'm going to take one and kind of hide it in my jacket, and I'm going to seal the box back up and tie it back together.
Okay.
Like no one was ever there.
No one was there.
Do I see anything else suspicious on the boat on my walk?
You do see, ammo crates and that sort of thing. They're tightly sealed, but you can tell they're like, they're ammo inside of there.
Okay.
That sort of thing.
Where is Grace and Clearly right now?
So Clearly is still on the outside of the ship, gathering the supplies to, set off, and Grace is helping the three others get their situation under control.
All right, I'm gonna meet back up with everyone else, and I'm gonna wait to really say anything to anyone and just kind of casually put my things away and wait until Grace leaves.
Okay. Grace will. One thing. Grace will say, since there are 5 of you, one of you could sleep in my bed. I'll be at the helm for the night's journey.
I think Sig steals her opportunity. Is your bed more comfy than this shit?
It's definitely worn in.
Yeah, I think I'll take you up on that offer.
Okay, so so the situation is there's two, essentially the, how do I explain it? The bunk, and then across the hall is the bunk, and then the middle has the third bunk area, sort of like a hallway, if that makes sense.
I'm still gonna put my stuff with everybody else's things. I'm not gonna bring my stuff to her room. Just in case,
Yeah.
Where's Adriana at this point? She's with us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And we got our stash in one of the rooms.
Yep. That's
Okay,
why
is there a
5.
common hall that can guard all the different sleeping areas?
There's only one hall.
Okay.
Yeah, they're all across from each other.
Is alternating, looking around the place and looking down that hall, and he hasn't taken his hand off his submachine gun under his coat. He's really stressed out.
Of course.
Does she leave?
Yes,
Yeah.
she leaves. You hear Clearly up on the top of the ship. He's getting things ready to set off.
Once she's gone and I hear her footsteps are well away from us, I'm gonna turn to everybody and pull the C6, right?
Mm-hmm.
The C6 out of my jacket. Looks like we are transporting some interesting goods on this boat.
You just see Mimi's eyes like bug out, and she like whips her head around to look at that, and then looks up at you, and the slow grin sort of is crawl across her face, and she'll sit up from where she was and put the laptop aside, and she'll put a hand out very expectantly.
Yeah, she's just kind of gonna casually toss the C6 over to you.
And she'll catch it without any care. Like, it's fine. And she'll look it over and kind of like smell it, maybe taste it. I don't know. Mimi does weird stuff. And she'll kind of toss it up in the air a little bit just to kind of get its weight and say, well, this is certainly a bit odd.
Plenty more where that came from. It's enough to blow this fucking boat to the moon.
Like, are we talking about this much? Or
We're
like,
talking crates, Mimi. Crates of this shit.
You see on Mimi's face no fear whatsoever, simply just absolute delight. She's like, where's my bag? Where's my bag? I can take all of this. It can all be mine. Why are they transporting this much C6?
Your guess is as good as mine, but I don't know. Once this thing sets sail down the Mississippi, might have a good opportunity to corner him and ask him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Colt, Axel.
Colt has produced a cigarette they probably stole from Sig, and he's lit it up and he takes a seat. And he just looks at Axel, I guess, and he says, I guess I don't have to worry about you that much anymore. We're all gonna die from it. We're all gonna explode.
Axel's nervous with that amount of explosives on a boat. He doesn't want to be a part of a suicide mission. He thinks that's what this is.
We're departing tonight, right, Duro?
Yes,
That's
that
the plan.
was
As
what
soon
you
as
asked.
everything like loaded up, we're on our way.
Yes.
I mean, we sit tight, wait for everyone to get comfortable, and go have a chat with Captain.
I think that sounds good.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep this though. This is mine now. It's finders keepers.
Klept it for you, little sis.
This is better than that birthday gift you got me 2 years ago. You know, remember it was the laptop that I dismantled and then turned inside out?
Yeah. And you wonder why I don't spend money on you for your birthday anymore.
To be fair, it was impressive that it still worked, and it worked pretty well. It was inside out.
Could we not do that with the new one, though?
No, this is my only communication to Boris. So this is precious to me. Unless Boris breaks up with me, in which case then I'll turn him inside out.
You know, if I was a weaker woman, little bug, I might have been offended there.
Yeah, don't be offended. No. You'd be offended by Boris because he would have broken my heart. And anyway, I don't want to talk about that. That's horrible. It's a horrible thought. I'm just gonna, and she just like shoves the C6 into her pack.
How many bombs does Mimi have at this point now?
3? No, 4. We have 4 bombs. I have 4. I have 3 C6 and then a pineapple.
Beautiful. I expect nothing less.
It's fine. Don't worry. Mind your business.
Yep.
Okay, so when do you want to confront clearly about this?
Basically, whenever the boat's going, I imagine we would all walk up to deck and try to figure out where they are and approach them. Is
Okay.
everyone coming for that?
Yes.
Yeah. I think Mimi will come for that.
Colt will stay with Adriana. Someone's got her.
Sounds good.
All right, so after a few more minutes, I would say, you begin to feel the boat moving forward. And you begin to hear loud footsteps coming down the stairs. And from your bunk rooms, you can see clearly is seated at the dinner area.
The galley.
The galley. That's what I was trying
You're
to remember.
welcome.
what it's
Don't
called.
worry.
Thank you.
Don't worry.
I was
Boats got you,
looking.
baby. Boats
I
got
was
you.
looking. Thank you. At the galley. Okay.
Yes. You need to know things about boats? I can tell you things about boats.
All right. So you see clearly at the galley.
Yeah, I imagine Sig is kind of keeping watch and listening to what's going on, and she's gonna turn back to Mimi and Axel. All right, let's go find out some information. And she's gonna stroll out towards him sitting at the galley. I'm assuming there's just like a table there he's sitting at.
Yes.
Yeah, she's gonna take a seat at the table across from him.
Mimi's gonna slide in right next to him if there's an open spot.
Yeah, there would be an open spot.
Outstanding.
I guess I'll be sitting across from him, or from Mimi.
You see he's sitting at the table. He's eating some fish that he's caught.
Is the head still attached?
No.
Disappointing.
Got a nice boat here, clearly. Captain. Some, interesting cargo, I see. I was doing a clear earlier. Anything you'd like to talk about?
You can just call me clearly. Tell me, have you ever been on this river before?
Can't say that I have, no.
Grace and I are part of a small band known as the River Raiders. Some call us vigilantes, the corporals, or eco-terrorists.
I like the sound of that. So, how does, I don't know, enough crates of C6 to blast a hole through the universe? How does that fit into this?
I can tell you, but you'd have to promise to help us.
Help you. I don't know. We're on a tight schedule. But my sister here, she's a bit of an expert in the area.
I'm an artist.
Maybe you tell us and we'll consider helping you.
Tomorrow at midnight, we're meeting with the others. I can just introduce you to Demeter, our leader. From there, you can hear the plan.
Why should we help you?
We have sailed these waters for generations. It's ours, and we have to protect it. You're Cyberpunks, right?
You could say that, yeah.
We have to get back at those corpos who think they can pollute without regard.
Mimi?
I can make this work.
I don't know, we're risking our necks for nothing.
I have a condition. If I risk my ass, and I'd be happy to risk my ass when it comes to, making art. Especially if it means sticking it to the corpos. What about an ongoing favor in the future? An agreement? Anytime we need some help on the water, we can call upon you?
You've got a deal.
Sick?
Yeah. I like that. I think that works. Never know when you're gonna catch yourself in a bit of a bind. Don't ever plan on coming back here, but you never know. Didn't plan on coming here in the first place.
Well, that and clearly I'm sure you've got plenty of associates that would be willing to help us along our own personal journey.
You're headed to New Orleans, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a few buddies of mine down there. I could give you a good word.
I like
Can
that.
work with that. Yep. Yeah, it's good shit.
All right, tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night at midnight.
I'm
I
sure
agree.
you know where you can find us.
This is going to be my piece de resistance.
It's a long journey, 5 days. I could show you how to fish if you like.
You know what? Honestly, I would love to do that. You, sir, are a fascinating man.
Just make sure she doesn't throw any bombs in the water.
That's not, I can't promise that.
That's
I
not
can't.
how we fish.
I am fairly certain you can catch fish that way pretty easily.
I'm fairly certain this is true, yes, but no throwing bombs in the water.
Have you ever considered that sometimes things are just fun to do and it's okay to have fun? And sometimes blowing up fish is a lot of fun? I want to see what they look like on the inside.
What's one explosive?
When
Just
we're being
one.
hunted with a fugitive. A fugitive that we have no idea how much she's even remotely worth.
Fine, I won't blow any fish up.
Thank you. She's
Aren't
like
we putting
shoots
her-
a look at Axel.
Aren't
But
we putting ourselves on the line by taking a pit stop anyways?
It's fine. I don't have to blow the fish up.
You're
After all of this is
making-
over, I'm getting a bunch of fish and I'm sticking dynamite in all of them.
We're making connections. That's what we're doing. He's got friends in New Orleans. We're going to New Orleans. I don't know if you remember our last little conversation on the cell phone, but we might need friends in New Orleans. Just a hunch.
We could use some friends we could trust. This is true.
Feel like clearly, and she like nods over at him, and his daughter seem like people we can trust.
I didn't want to blow the fish up anyway. Stupid.
Oh my god, Mimi.
It's not my- it's fine. Don't worry about
Why don't you go back to your cabin and take something apart?
Maybe I will. Maybe I'll take apart your bed and.
Good luck. You don't know where my room is. I might have to keep it that way.
You say that like I can't find things out. Like I probably couldn't get into the walls of this boat.
Stay out of the fucking walls.
I know we don't need a Christmas again. The Christmas incident, we don't speak about that anymore.
Yeah, we don't. And there's a reason.
She'll lean over to Clearly. I got stuck in the walls for 3 days.
It wasn't funny. You could have gotten hurt in there. Seriously.
It's a little bit funny. It's fine. I'm gonna go I am Boris. And she's gonna get up and she's gonna go back to the rooms, back to messaging with Boris.
Is that girl all right?
Yep, she's just Mimi. So, yeah, I'm gonna go get some fresh air. And she's gonna get up and go up on deck and look out to the water. She does, since it's night, and while she's up there, she's got her music playing in her hearing module, and she's also got her infrared and low light, infrared on, and she's just kind of like watching the shore as they're riding along.
Okay. You see the occasional crocodile and some birds, but nothing dangerous otherwise catches your eye.
I would went back to Colt and filled him in on what's going on if he didn't already know.
The fuck? Why are we doing this?
Well, we could use some connections to New Orleans. That could be an advantage.
Did you not fucking hear her? They have a pile of HE enough to nuke Manhattan again. It's fucking crazy. We're in a shit ton of trouble already. We're sick.
Yeah. She went up top.
Yeah.
Are you going up to find me?
Yeah. Colt says, watch her, and he just takes off.
All right.
Yeah, when you find me, I'm just on like the upper deck and I'm leaning against a rail, kind of just looking out into the shoreline, smoking a cigarette.
Colt's going to light up another cigarette he stole from Sig. And just like post up at the rail next to her. Care to explain what we're doing?
I mean, what's there to explain? I'm sure Axel told you all about it.
Yeah, seems crazy to me. We're already on a job that may be worth a shit ton of money, and it's got us a whole heap of problems. And now we're going to do some charity work?
Table talk real quick. Duro, it's Hart is the one that's taken over, right? As our fixer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She's gonna kind of like side glance you. Look. I don't know about this Hart guy waiting for us in New Orleans. No fucking trust him. Something smells like fish and it's not this fucking boat. I think it's good for us to make some friends on the way. We might need them, clearly. And his daughter, they're just simple people like us. They're just trying to fucking make it. And sounds like they got a whole team of people that they work with. And honestly, anyone trying to push back on Arasaka's a chum in my book. So I don't know about you, but I'm willing to take a chance here.
Colt's just staring off in the distance. Almost like he's not even there. Fine, fuck it.
Look, we got Mimi. I know she's a little crazy. Different. But she knows what she's doing when it comes to explosives, and whatever this job is, it entails a lot of that. So, I'm not worried. Not about this. I think we'll be fine. Just gotta keep your head screwed on.
I admire your confidence. He just takes the last big drag of the cigarette till it's all ash. Flicks the butt away. See you in the morning. He heads back.
All right, so you head back. Do you say anything to anybody when you get back?
Colt's just going to go back to his bunk. Well, he's going to check on Adriana to make sure she's all secured.
She is passed out on her bunk. She had a long day.
Just one long day.
It's a long day.
Just today. Yeah, I think Sig eventually she would probably spend a fair period of time outside, just kind of watching, getting lost in her own thoughts, until she got tired enough, and she would make her way to Grace's bunk.
Okay, does everybody else retire for the evening?
Yeah, I imagine Mimi like passes out with like the laptop up and she's got like a snot bubble blowing out her nose.
Yep, Axel's passing out.
Colt will probably just lay awake in his bunk.
All right, so you either sleep or lay awake for the night, and it's the next morning, and you hear some like banging and of utensils coming from the galley.
Colt's going to check it out.
All right, you see Grace is preparing some food for you all. It's not much. It's some fish caught from the river and kibble, which you all are accustomed to.
Is it pretty early morning? Is she like an early morning riser?
Yes, so she and Clearly kind of split the drive time. So Clearly is up and driving, and she's down here, sort of on her off time, sort of thing.
I imagine, to clarify, that no hanky-panky happened in her bunk last night. Sig was very polite and just kind of crawled onto her own side of the bed and fell asleep. But Sig also being an early riser, when you come out, Colt, she's already probably sitting there with like a cup of coffee in her hands. And she's just watching Grace cook. Admiring her femininity, something Sig does not truly possess. Her domestication.
Yeah, Colt's gonna stroll in. No shirt, jacket, submachine gun, and then cigarette, half lit, half burned cigarette hanging from his lip. Looking for coffee.
You find the coffee pot on the on the table. Why not? It's been bolted down so you don't lose it.
I love that.
I mean, that tracks. That's
Yeah,
you
you're
find
in
on
a
a boat. Yeah.
Axel will make his way out and see the two of them in the galley and head to get some coffee himself.
Is the captain around?
You guys would know he'd be upstairs driving.
All right. After Colt gets coffee, he's gonna head up to talk to the captain.
Okay, so you head up and you find Clearly behind the steering wheel, whatever you call it.
Morning, Captain.
Good morning.
Thanks. How's the water?
Mighty peachy tonight, or this morning. What can I do you for?
Just wondering what we got planned for the day here.
You got some sailing, fishing, swimming.
That's all?
Yes. Why do you ask?
I don't know. My Patriots told me about your plan.
Oh,
Sounds kind of fucking crazy.
right, that plan.
Yeah, that one.
You may be crazy, but you gotta protect our waters.
I don't like it. I don't want it. I don't want to see my friends hurt.
Well, you don't have to participate.
Yeah, that's not an option. And Colt's going to head back down for more coffee.
I imagine while Sig is downstairs in the galley and Grace is making food for everyone, she's kind of just making small talk with her. And she would probably ask her, you know, so these river raiders, friends of yours, have you guys been involved with them for long?
My dad has been participating with them for quite a while, before I was born. I just got started a few years ago.
Big group?
Not as big as they used to be.
What happened?
Corpos found out about us, decided they wanted to stop it.
Fair. Sorry to hear that.
We lost our good men recently. That's why we need your help.
Hopefully we can do just that. You know, my sister, she's pretty talented with explosives.
That'll come in handy. We'll need someone like her. What makes you ride the river?
Just trying to get to Night City. Got a important job.
Night City, I've never been.
I don't think you'd like it very much.
Is there a river there?
I'm afraid not. Not like this.
I went much like a den.
Yeah, the city's not for everybody.
Well, you can stay on the river as long as you like.
I think I'm a city girl, unfortunately, Grace.
Well, I hope you get there safely.
Thanks, Grace. I appreciate that. So do I. She just kind of stares down into her coffee.
Well, I got food ready for you. Grab a plate.
Yeah, she's gonna fill up and eat.
So there's just some fresh-ish fish and some kibble.
I feel like Sig would be inclined to eat some fish because it's fresh-ish. Unlike kibble. Has Mimi came out yet? Or she just like tucked away in her bunk?
I think that Mimi around this time would probably stir and maybe is at this point kind of stumbling into the kitchen. Like, imagine Mimi has like bunny slippers and like rubbing one eye, is very tired, has the laptop in one hand, and is like fishing for coffee in the other hand.
Oh, look, Our Majesty has graced us this morning. How blessed we must be.
I'm gonna stay up real late talking to Boris.
Isn't that like every night, Bug?
Yeah, well, you know. Love and shit.
Love and shit.
Yeah. She's gonna sit down at the table and just reach for like the nearest cup. It doesn't matter. Maybe she reaches for the whole carafe of coffee and just starts drinking out of it.
You want to show some manners, Bug?
Yeah, I guess so. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
She'll get herself a mug.
Grace cooked us some fish this morning. Should try some. Don't know if you've ever actually had fish.
What's it taste like?
It tastes like fish.
That means nothing. It means nothing to me.
Well, you could eat kibble if you wanted to.
No cheeky nuggets?
No. Afraid not.
I'll take fish.
Good choice. It's real food.
Could make them into fish nuggets.
Unlike a real boy now. No more Pinocchio for Mimi. And she'll sit down and she'll settle in with a plate and sit with the laptop and is like kind of tapping away. And she's like actually like looks a little serious in the moment. If you were to look at the screen, she's looking at cyberware.
She sit across from Sig.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Okay.
Not she's not hiding it,
Yeah.
but she's certainly not showing you.
What you shopping for over there?
I'm not really shopping, just looking at options.
Thinking about modifying?
She gets a little bit quiet and she sort of sips on the coffee and sort of shrugs. I don't know, maybe.
Sig doesn't say anything to her, but she's definitely just kind of watching her. There's not really any expression on her features.
I think Mimi would very quickly glance and try and like get a read on you before going back to what she was doing. And she doesn't want to like be sneaky, so she's trying to play this very like nonchalant.
Yeah, I don't think looking at Sig, there's no sway either way in her face. She's just kind of casually glancing at you.
I think that bothers Mimi more than if she were to give like an emotion. And it's not like she's trying to get a rise out of Sig. I think she certainly cares what Sig's opinion is of her, though. And if she's not getting an opinion, that bothers her. So what's the plan? What's the plan, Stan? And she's gonna look back at Grace.
Well, it's not much going on until tonight. Till then, you can just relax, do some fishing.
Yeah, I might learn how to fish. Maybe it'll become a new hobby of mine. Maybe I'll give up this whole explosives thing and become like a fisher and be really good at that. Do you ever keep the fish as pets?
All the fish out in the water are my pets.
That's awfully nice of you, Grace, to say. And she sort of glances over at Sig, like, what the fuck? Do you name them?
I used to, but there's so many of them, it's hard to keep track.
Well, I'll name some today, I think, with you.
She's
If
such
you'd
a-
be into it. Do you feed the fish?
No, they're well fed.
That's pretty cool. All right. I can get down on some fishing. Sig, you want to fish?
She looks at Mimi and then over to Grace. Sure. Why not?
Mimi's like surprised that you actually said yes.
It's a little family bonding time in the middle of a job.
Gotta pass the time somehow.
Ain't got nothing better to do.
I'll let Clearly know if you're ready to learn how to fish. I'll take his duties for now.
Rock on.
You see Grace go back up the stairs.
Sig watches her ass as she leaves.
Mimi makes a face at Sig.
She just shrugs at you.
Is Adriana still sleeping?
At this point, she comes out like right when you ask me. Yes.
That's so crazy. Timing.
Whoa.
What a coincidence.
Wow.
You're like psychic or something.
I'm a psychic cop. How about that?
The worst kind.
Do you have like ESPN or something?
Something like that.
Good morning. How are you all today?
I'm pretty cool. I don't
Morning.
think she likes Adriana anymore. I don't think that Mimi's like down to clown with Adriana.
I feel like Sig just is as pleasant as Sig can be to Adriana after threatening her life on multiple occasions. And would just kind of nod at her. Coffee on the table if you need any.
Oh, that's okay. I don't drink coffee.
Of course you don't.
Well, if you're hungry, there's some fish and kibble.
Adriana, I got a lot of questions. I got a lot of questions.
What can I do for you?
I'm sure you can imagine that I too am a woman of science.
Yes, come on.
I know. Was it a petri dish situation? Was it like, what's going on here? Were you in like a tube? Was there goo? I would imagine there's a lot of goo.
There is a petri dish in the beginning, yes.
Okay, and then we had our meiosis and our mitosis, things like that. Okay. She kind of like shoots a look at Axel and say, "See, I'm a woman of science. I know things. I read a book once."
Once we were large enough, we were placed in the birthing chambers.
Wait a second. You said we? What do you mean we?
I was the third iteration of my sister.
Okay. Are there more of you out there right now? Or are you just the final one? Are you like the final Adriana?
I
Sig
am
is
the one.
suddenly interested and like tuned into this conversation now.
Yeah, see, you're welcome.
I am the one that survived.
Oh, what happened to the other ones? Did they like explode in the chamber or something? Or did you like absorb them? Like, did you eat your sisters?
They never made it past their second trimester.
Oh, I see. Okay. So not really out of the embryo phase. Got it. Okay. Interesting. So you were in a tube, like a big tube, like a birthing tube.
Yes, for a time.
Okay. And then you were birthed? You were arrived? Removed from tube?
I was removed from the tube, yes, once I reached my 9-month gestation period.
Interesting. Fascinating. Okay. Do you think they left you in there until you were like full grown? I guess it depends on the size of the tube.
I suppose. I never asked my father about that.
Interesting. Very curious. Wonder what kind of electronics are involved in taking care of a whole human baby. Clone baby. Do you remember the tube at all? No, I guess not. You'd just be a baby. Baby.
Yes, I do not remember at the time before I was what you would consider born.
Interesting. Huh. Do you get any of her memories?
No, we are still separate. We, in cloning, we do not share more than DNA.
Right. Well, I guess you could argue that your DNA has memories of her. Like, like mitochondria. That kind of stuff. Yeah. Interesting.
But memories of her life, I do not remember.
What about food allergies? Did she have any food allergies? Do you have food allergies? Do histamines work the same for a clone? That's kind of cool. I got a lot of questions. You can tell me to stop whenever you want.
I do not know the answers to your questions. I never met my sister, so I'm not sure what those answers would be.
Interesting. I'd really love to get my hands on her medical records and then your medical records and then compare them. But that might be a little bit too far, and I'm really sorry that I just said that. Sometimes I just say things. You can just ignore me. I'm sure that you don't want to answer these things.
I enjoy our conversations.
Oh, cool. Sick. Rock on. Because I like talking to you, Adriana. Even though you're a clone, and I knew it the whole time. I had it in the back of my brain.
Is this what you call being a best friend?
Sig is just like eyeing you from across the table.
You know what, Adriana? I think this is exactly what you call being a best friend. I think we're best friends. Do you want to go fishing later?
Yes. I've only heard of fishing before.
She's gonna do a quick look at Sig, like, like goblining.
Of course, you've never heard of fishing before. I highly doubt there are any rivers in your daddy's laboratory.
Wait a second. What about music? What music have you listened to? And if I swear to God, if you say Elvis, I'm going to throw myself off of this boat.
Music is not something I've experienced before, outside of maybe a hum, maybe a whistle.
Whoa! Dibs, dibs, dibs. I call dibs on showing her music.
She's your best friend, sis.
She sure is. Absolutely. Yep. Yeah. Man, do I got some music to show you. Just you wait. And you just see Mimi's whole face just like absolutely light up. And it's not good. It's not good. What are your thoughts on C6? I think they can make something better.
Like C7?
Yeah, like C7.
Would that be something we would like to work on?
Are you kidding? We could do that? We could work on C7 together?
Yes, I can help you.
I gotta tell you, I got a million ideas for something bigger than C6, and it definitely involves tannerite and nickels and a teddy bear.
Okay, all right. I'm really glad you guys are best friends now. I'm going to excuse myself. Have fun, Mimi.
Yeah.
Theoretical discussions. We're not blowing anything up on the ship. Don't forget how much C4 is here.
Yeah, well, I don't have any tannerite, and I don't even know if there's nickels anymore in the world. So, yeah. I mean, but I've got an idea for it. And
I'm sure you have an idea.
Shrapnel.
And you two can put your great little minds together and think about all these fun things. Have fun, ladies. And she's going to take her coffee mug and go upstairs, up on deck.
I feel like Mimi would turn to Adriana and just fully enthrall Adriana in a discussion about the modifications that she wants to make to C6, and is also simultaneously playing like
punk, like some like Dead Kennedys or something off of her laptop. Like, see, this is fucking music. Forget Elvis. We've got this.
Gianna is very intensely interested in what you're showing her.
I love this so much.
Axel will excuse himself from the table and also head upstairs.
You going to the deck, Axel?
Yes.
What are you doing up there?
Trying not to get thrown off the edge.
You just hanging out up there, not by the edge?
I would make my way to Colt, actually.
Oh, okay.
Colt is it's the very front of the boat, the prow.
The bow.
He's at the front of the ship, just like elbows back on the railing, leaned against it, just staring at the sky with shades on, kind of a loose grip on a coffee mug, just his index finger, so it's spilling out. Cigarette just stuck to his lip, not even lit, just all gone, and he just stared at the sky.
I'll walk up to Colt and get his attention from him dazing off.
As you walk up, he says, "It made me talking about blowing shit up again."
Yeah. Apparently, her and Adriana have hit it off and become best friends.
Great.
Yeah.
He has two of them.
Well, I think I needed to come talk to you after hiding the fact that I was an ex-cop. I don't want you to feel like you can't trust me. I just knew if it was out there, you probably wouldn't have trusted me to begin with.
Told you before. Worked with street scum. Worked with the government. Worked with corpos. They're all the fucking same. Former cop, doesn't matter. I don't trust anybody.
Well, just know I wouldn't let anything happen to you, and I hope you wouldn't let anything happen to me. I see us mutual partners, and I have your back. And I mean that.
I won't kill you.
It's all I can ask for.
And Colt just continues to stare at the sky.
I'll just walk to the side and stare off and watch the water roll by.
You hear clearly. He's standing like in the center of the ship. You hear him yell out, "Now who's ready to learn how to fish?" Come on up.
Would this be loud enough for Mimi to hear in the galley?
Yes.
Okay, Mimi's running. She's hauling ass. She's got Adriana by the hand and she's dragging her with her.
All right. So you arrive at the front. Well, like in the middle of the ship, and you see clearly he has a handful of fishing poles and a bucket of like fish guts and that sort of thing.
Grass.
Well, is it just you two?
I'm sure Sig's coming. I think she wants to learn. She's really eager to learn. Hey, Sig! And she's gonna start calling out for Sig.
Do I see Grace making her way over there? Or is Grace not fishing?
Grace is at the helm. She's, piloting the boat while clearly is showing them how to fish.
Far from where they're fishing is that?
So he's gonna take him to the back of the boat
Okay.
to fish.
And she's at the front of the boat.
Yeah.
Ziggy's gonna try to pass undetected and make her way over to where Grace is.
Okay, so I assume Mimi is way too distracted to learn how to fish to notice Sig walk by.
Yeah, I would imagine so. She's really pumped.
Okay.
She's gonna need best friend.
And Sig, you find a quiet corner of the helm to sit out of view of Mimi.
Yes, I do. Yeah, she's just gonna kind of like post up and just like engage in small talk with Grace.
Okay. So clearly hands over their fishing poles to Mimi and Adriana. Now take your pole and grab the hook on the end. Now take this bait, and he grabs a piece of fish and hands it to you. Now, without putting your finger through the hook, put the bait on the hook.
Okay. Mimi's doing. You want me to roll something for it?
Roll reflexes. See if you stab yourself.
Stab
with the hook.
myself. Holy shit. Let me find my reflexes. I would love to do that for you. Reflexes. 14.
Okay, so you managed to not hook yourself. All right, now let's go to the back of the ship where I'll show you how to cast.
Mimi follows eagerly.
Okay, so he takes you to the back. Now, you want to throw it like this, and he kind of whips his rod. Make sure you don't hook this while you throw it.
Am I rolling reflexes again?
Yeah.
A 9.
Okay, so you whip it back, and as you're whipping it back, you accidentally catch the hook on your leg.
Ow! That's horrible. Can I try it again?
Yeah.
Okay, how much damage do I take?
None. It's just a small flesh wound.
Ouch. I'm gonna use an advantage.
I love that. I love that for you.
Okay.
A 10. Does that do it?
Yes, you
Okay.
successfully cast your fishing pole out into the water.
Outstanding.
And that's how you do it.
Outstanding. And then Mimi's gonna look at it clearly and just ask, now what?
Now you wait.
I wait? What do you mean I wait?
Wait for the fish to catch.
How long does that take?
Could be minutes. Could be hours.
Hours?
While
Fine.
we're fishing, I like to think about all the good things I've done throughout my life.
Mimi realizes that for her, that might be a little bit of a shorter list.
You can think about whatever you want, but that's just me.
I'm gonna think about C6 and Boris.
You see Adriana's next to you also casting out her fishing pole.
I think Mimi thinks about fishing with Boris. That's what she's thinking about, and how nice that would be. And that they would hold hands and maybe kiss. Totally real boyfriend Boris.
Totally real boyfriend. Now we know.
We know that he is real. You almost caught him. He didn't. Oops.
So you're at this for a few minutes, and you begin to feel something tug on the fishing pole.
I think Mimi would panic. What's wrong with my fishing pole?
Start reeling. You got a fish on the end.
I'm rolling reflex again.
Yeah.
Okay. A 12. That was all right.
You tug and you tug, reeling in your fishing line. Eventually, you catch a bass, a white bass. It's a reasonably sized fish. Definitely, impressive for a first-time fisher.
Very good. Can I just take it off the hook?
Yes.
Can I kiss it?
Yes.
I'm gonna kiss the fish.
It's a fish.
I will name him Jeremy.
That's a nice name for a fish.
Mm-hmm. I would imagine she's just holding this fish as it's kind of flopping around. What do I do with it now?
Bring it downstairs and we'll cook him up.
We'll cook Jeremy?
Well, you can let him go if you want.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna let him go, and she's just gonna chuck Jeremy back into the water. I mean, like, really chuck him in there. Just like,
It flops and crashes on the water.
bye, Jeremy, I love you.
All right, so you and Adriana up to this for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else want to do anything while kind of lazing around, I guess?
Colt was just watching all that from the deck. And he's thinking about the jobs that they got ahead of him. And that he doesn't have any more Coke. And not enough cigarettes or coffee.
We are now skipping ahead to the big meeting. In the dead of night, from your boat, you see a light along the water. As you venture closer, you see it is a fire on a small river island. There are a few ships already docked there. So it would be Grace who's driving the boat at this point. She runs the boats along the shore. And you see clearly disembark and begin to head towards the gathering of people.
We follow him.
I would assume so.
Yeah.
Mimi's marching along. She's pumped. She gets to blow shit up.
Yeah, I think Sega's gonna give a little tea in a little bit, Grace, and she's gonna head towards the shore as well, clearly.
Okay, so you head towards the fire, and there you find 4 others. Clearly walks towards the young rocker girl in the group. He's switching. I'd like to introduce you to Demeter. Demeter, these are some of my friends who have agreed to help us.
Sig's gonna step forward and offer out a hand. Give him a nice firm handshake if he accepts.
She will grab your hand
Oh.
and shake it. You can see, did I switch to the picture?
Why is she hot too?
I don't know.
What are you doing to me,
That's-
Juro? Bunch of
It's
babes
deleted
around
there.
here.
Mega hot.
Rare, rare.
She says to you, "Well, aren't you a sight for sore eyes? Welcome aboard. We appreciate your contributions."
It's always nice to make new friends. Choom?
I'm not sure how much clearly has divulged. I can fill you in on what the mission entails.
Please do. I don't really got much in the way of details.
Recently, a chemical manufacturer by the name of Armex Patterson signed an agreement with the Mississippi government to curb emissions into the river. However, our sources close to the company have told us that the signing was a front. Armex curbed the most visible discharges, which were not the most lethal. The state inspectors and politicians who certified the controls were paid off. We're going to teach Armex Patterson a lesson they won't forget for a while. River Raider style.
All right.
Yeah. I can get behind that.
Where do we start?
There is a large tank farm about 300 meters up above, down the river. There's a large tank farm about 300 meters from the riverbanks. The farm is double fenced and well patrolled. There's an angle, however. A flood control canal runs through the tank farm and feeds into the Mississippi nearby. The canal runs underground for the last 200 meters in a wide concrete channel. Apparently there is airspace most of the way. With an intrepid team of solos and techies, we should be able to get in and plant explosives in a couple key places. The explosions would destroy the tank farm and cost Armex Patterson millions of dollars in damage and bad publicity.
How many men you got on your team?
You've got the three of us, and I included, and then however many you decide to join.
So we're infiltrating the spot and we're dropping the explosives, getting out. That's the deal?
That's the deal.
Well, you want my sister with you. She knows her way around explosives. She's gonna glance back to Mimi.
Yeah. Know a thing or two about a thing or two.
Maybe one of us should stay on the boat with our special package.
What about the captain? We trust him to watch her?
I'll be going with you. I got the scuba gear.
I can hang back and watch the boat. Stay on comms in case anything fishy happens. You can let me know. I'll be your man on the outside. Colt, Axel, you ready for a little action?
You know how I feel about this. Let's just get done.
Look, if you
Get
want to
in,
stay
get out.
back, you can just be my guest. I'll gladly go ahead.
No, we gotta get this done. I'll be in there.
All right, then. Looks like we got 3 on with you. Is that going to be enough?
That should be plenty. Here's how it go down. 3 of you will go to the tanks and set the explosives. The rest of us will provide you covering fire for the guards.
How many guards do you think are going to be there?
Could be upwards of 10. Not all of them will be there at the same time. The complex is large. It would take some time for reinforcements to come. At most, we'll deal with 3 or 4.
All right. Well, this
Mimi,
is
you're going to
easy.
have to plant the explosives.
I wouldn't trust you to do that. No offense, Colt, but this is sort of my whole thing.
No, I need you to plant the explosives, but I'll take point because I can sneak in there, scout ahead.
Best case scenario, none of you have to fire a single shot.
Yeah, well, I hope that a lot. And it doesn't always work out that way.
I think it'll be fine. I think that if we're quick, quiet, and efficient, then it should be easy. I'll even bring baby Phil with me, Colt, if that makes you feel better.
That'd be mighty fine, Miss Mimi.
Please don't ever say that to me ever again. I hate that.
Sig looks at you, Colt, and says, just keep her safe in there.
Colt just gives a curt nod.
Can Sig see anything from the boat? Like if she were to stand on deck, what could she see of the facility?
So you're not next to it right now, but I will tell you anyways. So you would see, where is it? You would see 2 large buildings, which we would see as serving as like the offices and where all the actual like production and stuff would go down. There are about a dozen tanks full of chemicals. You're not sure what the chemicals are, but there are 4 large ones that feed into smaller ones. And there's a fence around the perimeter, but there's the canal that leads inside past the fence, and it opens up into the actual facility.
Okay.
What time of day is this right now?
It is midnight right now.
And this action is taking place under cover of darkness, I assume,
Yes.
right now.
Yes. Well, you haven't gotten there yet, but it will take place at night. Once you've finished up, if you have any other things to talk about.
All right. You guys need any clarification on anything before we get this going?
It's pretty cut and dry.
I say we make our way there then. Let's not waste any more time.
Alrighty then, let's get out. Thank you, Demeter. We'll let you know what happens. Well, I guess she would be there. What am I talking about?
You goof.
Oops. Anyways, so you hop on the boat and sail a bit down the river and you begin to see the tank farm. Where you're gonna set up your explosives. Clearly, we'll come up to the three of you who are going out onto the ship or out onto the water. If you go down below deck, you have the scuba gear. Hopefully you're scuba certified, or at least know what you're doing.
I imagine. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I imagine while you guys are all getting set up to go scuba dive, of course you're all certified scuba divers, I'm sure of it. Sig goes down to her pack and she's gonna pull out a pair of binoculars that she has, as well as her rifle, and she's gonna throw a rifle on her back and she's gonna go sit up in the captain's area with Grace, and she's gonna have her binoculars with infrared vision on, and she's scanning the horizon and just kind of watching the facility while everyone's getting ready and getting prepared to go do this mission. And that's kind of where she'll be posted the majority of the time, just sitting on comms.
Okay, that sounds good. You'll see a couple of guards just sort of patrol around the fence perimeter. So yeah. Do you suit up?
Yeah,
The
well,
referee, wearing a wetsuit or a scuba gear, I assume alters our armor. Yeah.
Well, he didn't say you get a wetsuit, so you have to like dive in like normal clothes.
Oh, okay.
So
I would say, like, not to be funny, I think Mimi would just strip down to her skivvies. She's not gonna get her clothes wet. That would make swimming way harder.
gotta bring what's needed. Gotta bring the explosives. That's all you need.
Colt would walk on the bottom, fully geared up, trying to smoke.
Scowling. The mental image of that is like him just mad about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's trying to drink his coffee down there.
Yeah. And Mimi will have baby Phil on her back. Or like slung over her shoulder.
Yeah. You
Maybe
see,
fill a rifle?
Baby Phil is her SMG.
Oh, okay.
It's got the baby doll head on it. And it says Baby Phil on it. And it also says Mimi sucks.
as you're gearing up, you see clearly is placing the C6 in waterproof bags. And once he's got it all situated, he hands it over to Mimi. I hope you know what you're doing with this stuff.
I probably know more about what I'm doing with this stuff than I'm doing with this stuff. And she sort of motions to the scuba gear. And I'm not to be sorry, clearly, but I probably know a lot more about this stuff than you do. So,
Well, just don't get yourself blown up.
no, I probably won't do that. And Mimi's just gonna take it and start getting ready to go.
If you're ready, we can head up to the deck.
Yeah. I'm just gonna follow him.
We're leaving now, Grace. Hope you have a safe time out here on the boat. Sig will be here with you.
You just see Sig, like, peering out the window of the captain's area, and she's got her binoculars up, and there's just a cigarette dangling out of her mouth.
I think before they go, Mimi would ask Sig for a drag off her cigarette. And then
I imagine
back
she just
over to-
walks up and, like, takes it out of her and just put it smack in her lips.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And then she'll follow clearly.
All right. So clearly stands at the edge of the boat. Puts his respirator in his mouth and jumps in.
Mimi follows.
So is Colt.
All right, and so does Axel. So you begin to swim the 300 meters to the shoreline. Eventually, you get there, and you also see Demeter and the other two solos with her. You sort of stop at the edge of the canal, and they pop up out of the water. All right, remember, we give you cover and fire while you plant the bombs. In and out. You got 10 minutes from when you plant those bombs before they blow.
Got it.
Copy that.
Begin to wade into the canal, which is only about 4 feet high at this point while you're inside.
So, are we actually fully submersed?
You're not submersed anymore. You were submersed to get to the canal.
Okay, so we're like up to our chest or something in water.
Yes, at the moment. You're just kind of walking along the canal now. The concrete tube, essentially.
Okay. And it's dark. Does Colt sense any traps or any people? Can I roll for that?
Sure, go ahead.
What is it? Awareness.
Okay, you rolled a 16. Okay, so you're walking along the canal and you spot a tripwire sort of hanging across the canal, like the top of it.
Okay, Colt, he's got point. He throws his hand up to indicate for everyone to stop. And then he's going to point at the tripwire and look at Mimi. You're like, see that?
Mm-hmm.
You know how to disarm these?
I would imagine Mimi does.
Yes, Mimi would be able to disarm them with a technical roll.
Basic tech.
Yeah, basic tech.
Where did that go? I just lost it. Did that not roll? Oh, 7. There it goes. A 12.
Okay, so Mimi kind of like finagles with the tripwire and the mechanism, and eventually she's able to cut it without setting off whatever it was connected to.
piece of cake. No worries.
Okay, Colt will now have his sub out. He's carrying it above the water and paying active attention for any more traps or people.
Okay, so as you go along the canal, you don't find any other traps. Eventually, it opens up into the greater area. You do see the occasional guard sort of patrol past you, but they don't notice you in the canal.
As we're going through the canal, Mimi's gonna stop for a second and just scratch in. It's metal walls, I would imagine. That's like on either side of us.
It's concrete.
Concrete. Oh, never mind. That's all right.
Okay.
Do you know what I was gonna do?
No, I don't.
She was gonna write.
Oh, you're gonna write me.
subs.
I just. You can
If there's
still
any,
do it.
if there's any like metal anywhere that she can like just dig into.
What about your Inspector Gadget hand?
That's true. I have with her tool hand, she can do that. So she's just gonna scratch in the walls like graffiti style. Mimi sucks.
Just your like fingertip pop off, and there's like a Phillips head.
Yeah.
So that the next group of eco-terrorists that come to blow the place up see it.
Yeah. Just gonna leave a mark somehow.
All right, so these guys are walking above us, right? Because we're down in the canal.
Yeah, so imagine you're at the end of the canal, which opens up into the facility. There's still a bit of a dip. They can't see you, but you can see them walking across the canal where the excess water from the chemical process is being washed down into the river.
Can we move stealthily through cover? I don't know if there's cover down the canal, but can we move stealthily?
Well, once you move forward, you're out in the open. So this is the point where Demeter's like, okay, on the count of 3, we jump out. We start shooting. You 3 go to the tanks and set up the explosives.
Copy that.
Aye.
Okay, give me a stealth roll, please.
Oh, also, referee, can I activate my Sandevistan Speedwear right now?
It won't be needed.
Okay.
It wasn't good.
5 plus 6. Okay. So we have a 33 from Colt and 11 from Mimi. And
it's not rolling.
Check the main roll 20
Oh.
page. There you go.
okay, do you want to use your advantage?
Yeah, I
Don't
want to
use
use my advantage.
Top ever.
He's just shouting, "Hey, you guys!"
Over here.
Dirty and
start
loud.
There we
shooting.
go. That should be better.
Okay. So Demeter clearly and the other solo with you, they jump out and they begin to shoot the guards. The 3 of you rush forward without the guards noticing you. You continue along the canal, which is just deep enough that they don't see you in the commotion, and it's also night as well.
Yeah.
You rush over to the tanks. Give me a demolition roll, please, Mimi.
No problem. I am gonna use an advantage though.
Okay, if you want to.
Yeah.
Don't want to explode on yourself.
I don't think I
Okay.
really need to use that advantage.
Okay, you rolled a 25. You are so proficient at this. You know, you could do this in your sleep.
Yeah.
You set up the explosives with the detonator, the time detonator for 10 minutes.
Mhm.
You go around and set them up on key tanks.
Yep.
All the while, Demeter, Clearly, and the other solo are fighting it out with the guards. With them all set up, you three rush back into the canal. And unfortunately, the solo with them has, in the fight, has perished. But Clearly and Demeter notice you coming forward, and you make it through back into the canal.
Nice.
You rush down the canal once again into the water, and just as you're making it into the water, you hear the explosions set off.
Are we in a position that Mimi can turn and watch?
Yeah, we could say that. Mimi is, you're just on the surface of the water, and Mimi, she knows her time. She knows, how long 10 minutes is, and turns just in time to see the explosion. The chemicals within the tanks give it an extra boost of energy. You can feel the water rock and the ground rock as the explosions set off. It's pretty colors with all the different chemicals in there. And the five of you make your way back onto Clearly's ship.
I think Colt and Axel would probably see something in Mimi's eyes that is like, you go to your favorite museum and you see your favorite painting and it's just so moving to you that you're almost on like the brink of tears. But there's like a euphoria on her face. Like, better than sex, better than any drugs. Like, her watching that explosion and knowing that she caused it is something that is elating to Mimi, and in a way that almost should be a little bit concerning to you.
Oh, Colt's play concerned. Trust me.
Plenty concerned.
He's very concerned.
Like, she's like you would have thought that she just had the best night of her life with Boris, the way that she looked at that explosion.
I think as you guys are getting onto the boat, you just, and the explosions are happening, you just see Sig standing at Grace's side.
I think, oddly enough, I think Mimi probably wouldn't look at you. I think her eyes would still be on any remnants of explosions happening, and I think that you would have to physically pull her away from watching that. And she's just like awestruck and in love with her own work.
There's remnants of the tanks kind of floating along the top of the river.
You don't know how, but Colt is smoking a cigarette from somewhere, and there's just water pouring out of him from the river, just draining, but he's got a lit cigarette in his mouth. He's facing away from the explosion. He hasn't taken any of the gear off, just standing there smoking that cigarette.
Tough guys don't look at explosions. That's just a fact.
That's right.
True.
Yeah, and Mimi's sitting there like in her underwear, and she's just like a wet rat. Just like intense.
I think Sig's gonna walk over to Mimi as she's sitting there, and she's gonna have a towel ready for her, and she's just gonna kind of wrap it over her shoulders, but not. Yeah, she will say something. She's gonna lean down and say, "Nice job, Bug."
Mimi's gonna quote Diogenes to you. She's gonna, still looking at the explosions and the remnants and everything, she's going to very quietly say, not to at you, but just to you, to quote, get out of my way between me and the sun.
Sig's face drops in concern a little bit. Yeah, but why don't you go get dressed? It's chilly tonight.
I would imagine there's just smoke, plumes of smoke at this point, and there's no more fire, or maybe there's fire. I don't know.
There's plumes of smoke and fire.
After hearing that, getting exploded to death by Mimi now occupies 2 squares on Colt's How I Die Bingo card.
I think that she might ignore you and sort of just watch that fire for just a little bit longer until finally.
Yeah, Sig's being really like insistent, like to the point where she's like physically trying to like get her to stand up from where she's sitting.
I think she'll eventually get up and very quietly walk down to where they're staying in the cabin, and she'll get dressed and she'll start up a cigarette and sort of sit in that afterglow and relish in that feeling. And if you were to go look at her, you'd see her sort of with that, like, sort of like a 1,000-yard stare, but in a way that might look manic.
She's just sitting in her, like on her bunk right now, basically.
Face to the wall and sort of wide-eyed and, like, enjoying it. She's enjoying that sort of, like, she's removed a little bit. And she likes it a lot.
Sig would give you a little bit of time to get dressed, but when you didn't return, she would go downstairs and do a little knock on your door.
I think you would hear it like a huh.
She's gonna crack the door open. Everything okay in here, Bug?
I think they're kind of eventually she'll sort of like snap out of that almost like manic stare and look up at you and smile in a way that you would probably find familiar. And she'll say, yeah, job well done, huh?
You did great.
Was there any doubt?
How does it feel being an eco-terrorist?
I can get used to this.
It's not so bad. Fighting the man.
Yeah. Pretty punk rock, to be honest.
Arguably the most punk rock thing you've done in your life.
Probably. Pretty legit. Plus I get to blow stuff up, and I like doing that.
I'm proud of you, Bug.
She gives you this big wide grin. Thanks.
You're sure everything's okay?
Yeah.
Got a little spooky there for a minute. What was the quote? What was the thing?
Oh, it's Diogenes. Philosophy, man.
Right.
Listen, you like Elvis Presley in country music. I like cynic philosophers and punk rock.
All right, if you say it's something cool.
It's a great quote.
It's an interesting one. You know that like Sig never like finished school, that she's chipped for education, and it is very basic. It is it's so that she can like read and write and do necessary things, but she knows nothing about, like, she didn't get to live the life you lived in terms of being able to go to school. So she's just kind of like, cool, yeah, I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. Dad, you who?
Right. I think that I think Mimi would know this, obviously, but I don't think she would ever throw this in her face because she knows that Sig worked so hard to keep Mimi in school. Mimi did very well in school, I would imagine. Probably a little too well and maybe skipped a few grades.
Yeah.
It was probably like a nuisance to your teachers in that way. Like that's probably the only time you ever called was, well, Mimi taught the class today. It was very annoying. But she would never consider herself smarter than you. So she just throws these quotes at you like, duh. Don't you know that? You silly goose.
Yeah, Sig's the one who wins arguments. Mimi's the one who wins debates.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. She probably has thrown quotes at you before, maybe just not that quote.
Yeah. Not something so concerning.
Oh, it's fine. It's just Diogenes. He lived in a barrel. He's just a little guy.
After like a second longer, she's gonna leave the door open, but she's gonna head back upstairs after checking in on you.
All right, so you see up there, Demeter is unloading her pack and her gear onto her boat, which has just sort of saddle next to you, next to your boat.
Okay. Yeah, Sig will walk over. Looks like everything went well. Right as planned.
Yes, I wish we had saved Timothy. He died during the battle, but it was for a good cause. Thank you for helping us. We couldn't have done it without you.
Yeah. Thanks for taking care of my little sister out there. I've heard you guys got some people in New Orleans, where we're heading now.
Yes, we have a small commune over there. Clearly can give you the details.
Maybe we'll run into each other again sometime.
Maybe. Hopefully. Interested in being destroyer of corpos. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah. Fight the man. And she's gonna kind of give her a wave and walk back to the captain's area.
You can hear her clearly talking to Grace in like an elevated voice. You should have seen them. They were so great. They put those bombs down and you saw the explosion, right? I'm sure you did. Boy, we should do that more often.
Sig like just kind of strolls in. Yeah, you guys did great out there. Good job. How much longer we got to New Orleans?
Kind of 3 days.
Well, I'm gonna go get some shut-eye then.
A good call. We got a long journey ahead of us.
She's gonna head down to her bed.
Okay, so Sig is sleeping. What are the three of you doing?
Colt went to get coffee. Just draining water all over the galley. And he puts the fish down on the table. It's alive. Came out of his pocket. Flipping around the table. Grabs a cup of coffee. He's just standing there, drinking it, standing up in the galley.
I think Mimi's kind of on an adrenaline rush, so I think she'll probably go to the galley and see what's up. See Colt sitting there, or standing there rather.
All right, what's
Axel would head to the galley too, grab a cup of coffee, sit down, staring at the fish flopping on the table.
It's Jeremy! It's Jeremy the fish!
Looks like it's meant to be, Mimi.
Yeah, I mean, if you set him free and it comes back, right? It means it's forever.
Are there any knives in the kitchen?
Yeah, there's knives. There's some long ones, short ones.
Mimi will take a knife and just stab the fish. Free food.
Colt's going to light up a cigarette after seeing that.
Axel's
Nobody
just
liked
shocked. Yeah.
No one liked that.
I mean, the explosions, the look at your face, creepifying quote, fish murder. It's all painting a morbid picture.
Mimi sort of shrugs and puts I guess there's a fridge in the galley. She'll put the fish in the fridge. Free food.
Yeah, Colt offers Axel stolen cigarettes.
Axel doesn't smoke. He'll just say thank you, but no. But I'll take a piece of that candy if you still got any of that, soaking or not.
Yeah, he has more candy. It's wet.
We all have our vices. Some of us like a cigarette, some of us like wet candy.
Yeah, wet candy.
Well, candy's a band name.
The candy is, it has a weird taste to it. There's definitely some sort of chemicals that seeped into it.
Yummy.
Doesn't even matter. Axel's still gonna take it and suck on it.
Yummy, yummy.
Well, it's an interesting night we've had.
Can we agree not to blow up any more things before we get to New Orleans? Can we try to do that?
I cannot make that promise.
Good.
I'm sorry, Cole. I cannot make that promise. That was bitchin'.
I mean, sometimes you gotta blow stuff up. I get it.
Yeah.
But if someone comes up and they're going to blow up, we don't have to do that anymore, do we?
I can't make that promise.
Good.
As long as we don't blow ourselves up, can we make that promise?
Yeah.
Sounds good. Well, I'm gonna go catch some sleep. You enjoy your night, Mimi.
Mimi sucks.
See you later, Colt.
Good night. Colt's not going to bed till everyone else has gone to bed.
He's not paranoid.
Nope.
Are you afraid of
He
Mimi?
sleeps. You might be the only thing Colt fears.
Good.
I might be the only person that's not afraid of you. Let's be honest.
I'm just a little guy. I'm just a little rat boy.
All right, so you all retire for the evening, including Adriana. And you wake up the next morning. And you once again see clearly at the table eating some fish and some kibble.
Yeah, Sig's already there again with her coffee.
I think Mimi will wake up a little bit earlier than she did the day before. I think she'll be a little bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. She still comes back in with the laptop and she's tippy-tapping on it. She's on a forum and there's like a little messenger system going back and forth, and it's in Cyrillic.
Yeah, Colt would be up with a coffee and a smoke already too.
Axel will probably be the last one to wake up then, dragging in, getting a cup of coffee, seeing everybody already awake.
So we got 3 more days on the river. Let's hope for an uneventful remainder of our trip.
I don't know. It's pretty fun, but maybe some chill waters would be good. Tepid,
so.
if you will.
I think it's time maybe we got a little bit of a rest.
I guess.
Colt's definitely stripping down his weapons and cleaning them out at the galley table.
I imagine Mimi like pushes baby Phil to Colt. Like, will you do mine too?
He doesn't even look up for what he's doing. He just takes baby Phil as well and starts breaking it down. Just like cigarette hanging from his mouth.
All right. Is there anything you guys want to do for this day?
Relaxing
weapons.
montage.
Relaxing montage. Well,
Not getting blown up.
your relaxing montage is going to be interrupted, unfortunately. So let's get to the night. Yeah, it's been pretty uneventful for the day. As you're cruising down the river, you begin to hear a song being played. You recognize it. Out in the distance, you hear Barracuda by Heart being played. And you can see clearly he is, as the music comes on, he is in distress mode. It's those dang Delta Marauders again. Grace, hide the weapons.
Not the C4, the C6.
Oh, that's gone. That he's talking about like the rifles and pistols and that sort of thing.
Mimi's more concerned about her C6, her personal
okay.
stash.
Does anybody go up to the top of the boat as no, this music is being played? It is night. It is, yeah. Yes, she is driving the boat. She drives at the nighttime. It's the Delta Marauders, pirates. It's a warning. We run into them from time to time. Generally, they leave us be, but when that music plays, you know they're coming. They generally keep us or keep us be, but they like to get on the boat and look around. As long as we don't make any sudden movements, they let us go. They've got the heavy guns on the bow. They've got dozen men or so. If you get shot up, the boat's done for.
Mimi's in the galley on her computer.
So is Colt. He's cleaning weapons on the table.
Axel would have came up top, hearing the commotion and all what's going on, just to see what's going on around outside. All right.
I was apparently muted because I was trying to fix things. Okay, thanks, Mornian. I don't know how long I've been muted for, so that's really fun. She's gonna go, she nods at at Axel and says she's gonna go down and grab everyone. We got company. She's gonna go downstairs to the galley. Mimi, Colt. Company up top. It's not good. Pirates.
Oh. Yeah, that's less than good. And she's gonna close the laptop and go to hide her own things as best she can.
Colt just finishes reassembling little Phil and hands it back to Mimi and slings his own SMG as he heads up to the deck.
Hey, we're not using guns on this. These guys are fully stacked. She's like running up after Colt, following him upstairs.
What's our play here?
Grace says play it cool. She says they'll come, they'll check the boat, they'll leave us alone. As long as we don't fuck with them, no one gets hurt. But they got about a dozen guys on that boat, heavy artillery. If they want, they can blow us to the bottom of the Mississippi.
Right. What about these? And he opens his coat. Like he's got the SMG and his handgun in there.
I guess cross your fingers that they're not fucking interested. Otherwise, keep your coat closed.
Alright, he's gonna not go up to the deck. He's gonna wait down and watch Adriana in one of the rooms.
Yep.
Close doors.
Sig's gonna go up to the deck, and did Mimi go up top?
Mimi's going to her cabin to hide like the laptop and her SMG.
Okay. I think she would have said to you in passing, meet me up top. Because she'd want you close during this.
Yeah.
But she's gonna go up top and rejoin Grace.
Okay. As you're all gathered on the ship, you see on the perimeters of the river 3 speedboats with heavy machine guns attached to the front. You have one guy sit on the front, kind of holding it there, and the Jolly Roger flying high in the sky. They come to the side of the boat and throw hooks across to latch on. And you see a man. He's got lots of tattoos. a vest, like a denim vest, just the vest, nothing else. On his torso, he's got some like leather pants. He jumps aboard with some numbskull, ship hands, and clearly, he goes up to him and he says, "Well, if it isn't Sable, what can I do for you, gentleman?" And Sable says, "Hello again, clearly. It's been a while, my friend. You know the deal."
What's his comeliness?
Do you like guys with tattoos, like cut off denim jackets and leather pants?
That doesn't sound like Bones' type at all.
My time. Thorough. That is like that's it.
I think you just
Okay.
described her husband.
He's
did.
a 10 then. He's a 10. Or sorry, 20. 20 out of 20.
Mimi's Boris who? She's panting. This is a problem. This is a big problem for Mimi.
He says to his ship hands, sure there's no weapons down there. You know the drill. So the deck hands go down the stairs, and it takes a few minutes. Sable, he sees sees Mimi, and he says, what brings you here on this Mississippi?"
Mimi is like, her tongue's like stuck to the roof of her mouth, and she's like, I don't even know. I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just hanging, just chilling. What about you?
Just partying every day, you know how it is.
Yeah, sure do. Sure do. My name's Mimi.
Sable.
She's like, her hand's like shaking and like it's very wet from sweating.
I imagine Sig has her arms crossed, like standing next to Mimi, just like deadpanning this guy.
So you just steal from people? That's cool.
Well, we don't always steal. We ensure that nothing nefarious gets around the Mississippi. You know how it is.
Yeah, sure do. So are you're like a cop?
I would say more like a vigilante.
Cool. Like Batman. That's cool. Mimi's the most awkward you've ever seen her. Doesn't know what to do with her hands. She's holding them like this.
Say, we've got a party later tonight. How about you join us? It'd be fun.
Yep, I'm into that. She very quickly glances to Sig.
Sig says nothing. She's just watching, staring at this Sable character.
As this is going on, you begin to hear the footsteps coming back up from the ship hands, and one of them says, Hey, Sable, we got something here." And he produces Mimi's pineapple grenade.
Mimi panics. Mimi's panicking. She's panicking. She's sweating profusely.
Found this in one of the bags.
Yeah, you can't have that. Sorry, that's mine. This is my pineapple. That'd be really not cool for you to take that, Sable.
Well, if you join us on the party, maybe you can throw it out in the water. You know, you need some fireworks.
I was saving it for something else. but I guess that might be cool too. I don't really have a choice in this situation, do I?
Sable will jump back onto his boat with the deck hands, the ship hands. So, do you want to come with us or stick with them?
Look, Sable, you're like really cute and super cool looking, but you took my pineapple, so fuck you. I got a boyfriend. His name's Boris, and he's way tougher than you. And I'm gonna tell him my pineapple got stolen. So,
Suit yourself.
Bye, dick bag. Just give him the bird.
They unhook themselves from the ship and drive off.
Mimi is like a puddle on the floor of sadness. I can't have anything. I can't have shit. I can't have my fucking pineapple. It's the second pineapple. What are the chances that you find 2 pineapples and both of them get stolen? It's 2 fucking pineapples back to back. One of them I had to give away because I couldn't keep it, couldn't take it down on the airship. The airship blew up anyway, didn't fucking matter. Now that I got a second pineapple that Boris found for me because he's the love of my fucking life, and this other really hot dude just took it and it was like, you want to blow it up together? Fuck you.
Do you feel better now?
No, I don't feel better. I want my pineapple back.
Maybe the pineapple's just not your thing. Maybe it's unlucky.
It's super lucky. It's a pineapple that blows up. That's so fucking funny. Like, what are the chances that you find anything funnier than that? Nothing. And now I don't even have it. It's gone. Second pineapple gone. Bye. Fuck you, Mimi. Mimi sucks.
Maybe Boris can help you find another one.
I gotta go message Boris.
Of course you do.
God, God. It's just Mimi's like in like a flurry of like Russian.
I imagine Sig is gonna go check on Grace.
Okay. You find Grace still driving the boat.
Everything all right in here?
Yeah, they didn't take much. Luckily.
Oh, I guess it's good we got rid of all those explosives earlier. Sister's pretty pissed they took her pineapple. And long story, but she's had 2 of them now and she never gets to use them. It's almost sad.
Well, I hope she finds another one day.
Maybe she will. We'll see. I don't know, I think they're unlucky or some shit.
Do you believe in luck?
Luck's the reason I'm here still. So yeah, I guess I do. What about you?
I don't know. I've never really thought about it.
You're an odd one, Grace. Girl tries to name all the fish in the Mississippi, but doesn't believe in luck.
What can I say?
Yep. Alright. I'm gonna go check on everyone else and check my shit. Who knows if they took anything from me.
See ya, Sig.
She's gonna go downstairs and go through her stuff and make sure everything is all there.
You going to the same room as Adriana?
Yes. You see that like everybody's stuff has been like thrown around, but she's still in there.
Well, I was in there with the door shut, and as soon as someone walks through there, they're getting grabbed by the throat and the barrel of an SMG under their chin because Colt doesn't know what's going on.
That didn't happen. Don't worry. But yeah, everybody else's stuff was thrown around. Yours was not.
If Sig goes down to check on her stuff, she'll find Mimi like furiously typing along, and it's just like a series of like ping, 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 back and forth.
Yeah, Sig's just like trying her best to ignore it while she's like picking all of her things up off the floor and putting them back into her bag.
Hear Mimi grumbling about pineapples. It's my pineapple. What are the chances? 2 pineapples and they both get stolen.
I don't know, Mimi. Pineapples sound like a hot commodity.
Yeah, because they're fucking cool as shit, man, and they're funny. That's so funny. Like, imagine you're like in a shootout, and then all of a sudden you see a pineapple coming for your face, and all of a sudden you're like, wow, that's weird. That's just a pineapple. It's just a normal fruit. Love fruit. Delicious. Bam! Now you're exploded. Now you don't have a body anymore, and you're red mist. That is comedy gold.
Who is that funny for?
Me, at least.
Just checking.
Tell me if you saw that you wouldn't laugh a little bit. You're a liar if you say that you wouldn't.
Maybe I just don't get it. I don't know. It's a fucking pineapple, Mimi. What do you want from me?
It's a pineapple grenade. That's the funny part. Who decided to make this grenade in the shape of a pineapple? It seems very silly. Also, not to mention, grenades are also kind of known as pineapples. You know what I mean?
She's just kind of like...
I'm going to write about this on my forums.
I'm sure you will.
Also, Duro, Mimi is asking Boris for another pineapple.
Okay, I have noted it.
Okay, good. You just note that. You just jot that down right quick.
Just jot it down.
I imagine Mimi has like extensive opinions of all of us written on her live journal.
Yeah, and it's intermingled with Boris fanfic. But she uses a pseudonym. It's Emi.
So creative.
She's quite the little writer there.
She's an artist.
She's an artiste.
Artiste.
All right, so it's nighttime. You guys can go to bed if you want, or stay up and write your forums.
I feel really called out right now. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I feel a little bit attacked.
This isn't our last night. Tomorrow is our last night.
It's gonna be 2 nights, but we can fast forward to the other 2.
Okay. I think whatever the last night is, Sig is gonna suggest like a little celebration to everybody.
Okay.
Is there any alcohol on board?
Yes. There is some in the galley.
Yeah, she would break out some alcohol and some cups for everybody.
Okay. Let's paint the scene. So it's the last night on the ship. You guys have sort of quietly hung around the ship. And Sig, you've invited everybody to the galley.
Oh. A little shindig?
Little drink never hurt anyone.
No,
got-
I can.
One night left on this ship.
Yeah.
No pirates in sight.
Pirates. Do you think that Clearly and Grace want to see my magic trick?
Sorry. I just felt that behind me. Hello. Horrifying. Oh, your magic trick.
Yeah, my magic trick.
I bet that they would love your magic trick. Mimi?
It's a pretty good magic trick.
Clearly. Grace, have you ever seen a magic trick before?
Well, I've seen many magic tricks, but maybe not the one you're talking about.
Definitely not this one. And she's gonna look at Sig. Sig, do you think you could pour me a full cup, please?
You got it. And
Okay.
she pours you a full cup and passes it across the galley table.
What is it? Just vodka.
Rum?
Rum?
Colt doesn't even look at what it is, and he just pours it into his coffee cup with his stale coffee.
Mimi's gonna make a big show out of it, and she'll be like, "Okay, Clearly, Grace, do you see the full cup?
See the full cup.
Okay, I'm gonna make it disappear. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, buckle my shoe," and she's gonna slam it and then slam it back down.
Oh boy, I've not seen that before. Actually, maybe I've seen it before once. I don't remember.
It's a pretty good magic trick, and she'll show the empty cup. See? Wow.
Yes.
Well, you deserve a ring of applause.
Thank you. Thanks for bow.
I'm gonna miss our time together. I very much enjoy teaching you how to fish.
Fishing's pretty much my new favorite thing, except for blowing things up.
One day maybe she'll combine the two.
That's Mimi's dream at this moment.
Floating fish.
Sig is feel attacked. Hello. Sig looks to the two of them and says, I really appreciate you guys taking such great care of me and my sister. Thank you for that. You've been very gracious hosts.
It's been no problem. While you're in New Orleans, feel free to stay here for the night. After that, we gotta head back north.
Understood. Shots?
Shots.
Mimi's pouring, or
Yes.
Sig is pouring around for everyone and kind of divvying them out.
I would dare say Clearly and Gracie, you guys are pretty much our friends now. We're just pals.
I think you're right,
would-
sis.
I would say that as well. That was Grace. I didn't get the accent right, but that's okay.
It was
You did your
beautiful.
best.
It was perfect, actually. Mimi's just slamming her shot. She has an uncanny ability to unhinge her maw.
I imagine after a few drinks deep, Sig would probably pull Grace aside and say, maybe I could teach you some city folk ways before I get off the boat.
Well, what do you have in mind?
Maybe somewhere a little more private? Maybe your cabin?
Oh, be my guest.
Yep, she just takes her around the waist and leads her off.
If would Mimi see this at all?
I feel like she would have tried to be a little secretive about it. Like, she would definitely not be out in the open about it at all.
Damn it, Mimi was gonna make kissy noises and embarrass you, but I'll withhold.
All right. We have that going on.
We got that going on.
That's a thing.
Yeah. Axel, Colt, anything you want to say during this?
Colt's gonna, or what's his name? Clearly, he's going to mumble to Clearly. You're all coffee.
Well, when I get to the shore, we can get some more.
Axel will just say he'll pour another round of shots for the people that are left and be like, to new friends and new beginnings.
Good Jen, and Mimi will lift up her cup and
The
take
shot
another
goes
shot.
into Colt's coffee, and then he shoots at.
Gross. That's gross.